This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Carbonite. Today on TRS, before we see the movie, we check out the Captain America comic.
It has been a summer of big superhero movies, and as we've been doing all summer long, we're checking in with the comic book that the superhero movie is based on before we see the film.
Yep.
And the next superhero movie on slate is Captain America. Captain America, one of my favorite characters when I was a kid, has had a lot of really seminal runs from creators, but I don't think you'll find any that have been respected more than the recent run from Ed Brubaker and Steve Epting. Now, Ed Brubaker, of course, is our writer that we have talked about quite a few times on this show. He's known for his noir work. We talked about Criminal. Did we talk Criminal?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And some other things on this show from him.
Incognito was the most recent.
That's correct.
Very recently.
Good memory.
Yeah.
And there's a new volume that they just put out that reprinted his beginning of his run on the series with the Winter Soldier. I believe it's called the Winter Soldier Ultimate Collection. So we're checking out the two arcs that comprise that work.
As you always say, if you walk into a comic book store,
This would be the thing that would be front and center. This Marvel put this out, just recently, so that to get ready for the Captain America movie coming out. And I think there's going to be, having not seen the film, I think there's going to be some of the stuff from this. Clearly, Cosmic Cube plays a large part in the comic, as it will in the film, I understand. And
Red Skull starts out.
Red Skull, of course. And this made a big commotion when it was first released because, of course, the old history of Captain America is that his partner Bucky is killed, and that was one of the things that happened back in World War II. And Brubaker brings back the character of Bucky as the Winter Soldier, and that was one of those things they say Uncle Ben and Bucky are the two off-limits characters for bringing back, but he did it. Alex, I'm curious what you thought of this Captain America comic.
Captain America, the only experience I have reading Captain America stuff is Captain America from Ultimate Avengers. So, not really Captain America.
Right.
I was not really super excited about it. I've seen the movie trailers. I'm not really super excited about the movie, so there wasn't really much for me to get excited about. But boy, oh boy, did I love this comic. This is right up my alley.
Yeah.
It's just pure, unadulterated ass-kickery. It's got some really fun concepts. I really like the way that they handle all of the backstory, where the backstory just sort of comes in these little bits, which is all I need, you know what I mean? Like at one point they were like, well, we need to get his DNA, and this one character was like, oh right, I forgot that Red Skull was from your clone. And I was like, that's all I need. That's all I need.
Yeah.
I don't need to know if there was a big, long backstory thing about that.
Well, there are flashback moments.
There are flashback moments, but again, those are like 1 pages or 2 pages, and they're really handled quite quickly and really well done. And the story was very interesting, and so it was really a refreshing thing that I got to experience this sort of old comic book hero in a sort of refreshing new light, and really, I loved it. I loved the art style too. It was very sort of classic.
Very dark line,
Yeah,
which is really interesting. Dan, what did you think of Captain America? I know that, it doesn't sound like you like it. Doesn't seem like, judging by the smirk on your face. I know that you're a fan of Brubaker.
Brubaker, yeah.
And this is a very sort of Cold War. It's more of a war book than it is a superhero book, I would say. It's kind of spies and S.H.I.E.L.D. and a lot of those things that I was hoping maybe you would like.
I love the art too. Very watercolor, very painterly at times. There's two. Well, you're at 2 volumes, right?
Yeah, yes, this Ultimate Collection
and the first one is very different.
2 arcs, yeah.
So before the Winter Soldier one, I'm trying to even remember what the primary focus of that first one is, because the first part of this, I felt like it was really tap dancing. There was not much progression. The whole episode, the whole issue was like it moved an inch forward, and it was a lot of mishigas about like 1 little inch of content. I started to get much more into it when it was really focused on this. When there was the Winter Soldier arc. I'm into the. I recently saw Salt. And there's movies like No Way Out. I mean, this is a very mined territory, the idea of the Winter Soldier.
Right.
And I kind of like the idea of it incorporating superhero-ness into that. I didn't love any of it, really, honestly, guys. I didn't love any of the action sequences in it. It kind of felt like Captain America just like runs into people and then he throws a shield at people, which makes me very nervous about the movie, but he just throws a shield at people and then just rams into someone. There's no like way in which he fights that's smart or clever or whatever. And then
I don't know, that's smart and clever if you can do it.
There's still just a lot of tap dancing for me. But what I do enjoy is like there's like a one-off issue, the first issue that introduces the Winter Soldier, that's all like diary entries, and it's like.
Well, no, it's the confidential report that he reads
that's
from the KGB of who this guy is.
And it's
beautiful.
It's like this, it's just sort of this standalone, interesting method of telling a story. That's what makes it interesting. When it's just straight ahead. I found it hard to get stoked on.
I'm sorry you feel that way because I love this take on Captain America. Brubaker really came in and revitalized the character for me and brought such an interesting noir, like I said, Mission Impossible almost look at what Captain America does. Like they swoop in and they have this like kind of tactical take on going in and flushing out these real political enemies. That is so much fun and so interesting, and bringing Bucky back in such an interesting way. I mean, he's had several years since this that he stayed on the book, and it's gone in really interesting places with some of the things he put into place. But if you are a Captain America fan like I am, he also gives nods. You know, Captain America is a guy who's always known for his sidekicks, and he's had a rotating cast of sidekicks over the years, from Bucky to Nomad and Falcon, and those guys all make appearances here, and it's so awesome when they bring him in, and Iron Man comes in and hangs out, and he really uses, I think, Captain America's supporting cast in an effective way. I love the art. There's a lot of action. It makes me sad that you didn't dig it. I'm scared because it feels like something you would
I'm
like.
still scared about the movie.
Oh, I'm definitely scared about the movie.
I don't think this is going to be anything like the movie, actually.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised this is the one they chose because I
Well, it's
feel
not
like,
necessarily the one they chose, it's the one we chose. But
I mean, I feel like if they're revitalized, front and center, ultimate.
well, it kind of retells where he's from, right?
It doesn't really give his origin. I felt like,
Well,
isn't there more straight-ahead origin stories of Captain America than this?
Well, of course. I mean, it doesn't talk about the super soldier serum and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
it kind of recaps his days in World War II. There's a lot of flashbacks. There's a lot of explaining about the death of Bucky and how that all went down.
And the Cosmic Cube, I'm very worried about the Cosmic Cube because it seems like the Avengers movie is going to be all about the Cosmic Cube, and the Cosmic Cube feels like a really comic book sci-fi idea where it just lets them do whatever they want. It's like I don't see the limitations, I don't see the rules of it. It's not very fun to me. It's just like I don't know. I'm
Poopy
very
Pants.
concerned
Mr.
about
Poopy
it.
Raining on our
Pants.
parade. Well, that's it for comic books this week. We'll be back very soon to tell you about what we think of the film version. Ooh. But first, we need an explosion.
All right, everybody, be sure to stick around for this day in rad history. But first, Jeffrey Cannata, freeze me in some sort of capturing device.
We've had a lot of fun, as we often do, but I'm going to bring it down for a second, talk about something real serious.
What?
Computer disasters. Ooh. They happen to everyone, and they happen eventually. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Okay.
Your computer crashes. It gets infected by a virus. You drop it. It's stolen from you. Terrible, horrible things happen. But there is hope.
What?
Help me, Carbonite. You're my only hope. Carbonite Online Backup.
I think we have to pay for that.
It's called Carbonite. What am I not supposed to?
All right, go on.
You install Carbonite Backup before the disaster, and you have no need to worry because your files are backed up automatically, safely, not on your local computer, off-site.
Not on my site, off some other site. Off-site.
So it's super easy to get them back because they're not
On-site. They're off-site. Got it.
Plus, you get anytime, anywhere access to your backed up files from any computer or on your
Amazing.
smartphone, on your
Amazing.
iPad.
Amazing.
It's got a free app that lets you access your
Carbonite.
Carbonite. With Carbonite, unlimited backup of your PC or Mac is just $59 a year. That's peace of mind.
That is a lot of peace of mind.
That is cheap for peace of mind. It's less than $5 a month. And when you use offer code TRS, the best offer code in the universe, you get to start a 15-day free trial.
A tree trial?
A tree trial.
It should have been the best offer code in the galaxy.
Which is what happens when a forest commits a crime. It goes to a tree trial. But a free trial is what we get you if you use TRS promo code. You get 2 months free if you decide to buy.
Amazing.
All the details are at carbonite.com. Just be sure to use our promo code because that's the important part.
TRS. Free your mind brains.
2 months free with purchase. Do it!
I'm doing it tomorrow.
Peace of mind.
Yeah, don't just tell me what I'm gonna get.
Get your
For less than a Starbucks
Get your
coffee a
TRS
week
swag
a month.
at jinx.com/TRS.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see you
Submit
at
a background.
Comic-Con.
See you at Comic-Con.
Submit background fans at TotallyRadShow.com.
On tomorrow's show, we bring back the game Secret Identity.
Today is July 20th, and on this day in 1903, Ford ships its first car. Some statistics for you.
Hit me.
The car weighed over 1,200 pounds, could
not
reach a
bad.
top speed of 28 miles per hour.
Oh my god.
Sexy.
Had a 72-inch wheelbase and sold for a base price of, wait for it, $750 US, which would be the equivalent of $18,300 today, which is
Not so
sort of
bad.
a mid-price car.
Yeah, not so bad.
Options included 2 seats and a rear door for an extra $100, a rubber roof for $30, a leather roof for $50.
Holy crap. First off,
Crazy.
I know this is all going to be coming back to Alex Goes to Europe, but I went to Europe. That's the end of the story. No, we stayed in Baden-Baden one of the last days, Baden-Baden, Germany, and it just happened to be the Baden-Baden old-time car show at the day that we were there, and so we were like, I guess we'll go to this old-time car show, and we wandered through, saw Model Ts, Model As, Stanley Steamers, like, I've never been as
Ever done a
excited to
Stanley
see.
Steamer?
It's Stanley Steamers. It was amazing. I totally got me into classic cars.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean like old like 1930s, 40s stuff, crazy stuff.
Thank you, Matt Geisbrecht, for sending that in. Matt, super awesome supporter of the show.
That's right.